17 years had passed. 17 long years since the rainstorm, since the fire, since that black SUV carried Jason out of the village like a dream that ended too early. 17 years since he last saw the woman who fed him her last plate of jollof and called him my son, and the small girl with two puff braids who used to shout, "Coconut head," during homework. And now, Jason sat in his glassy penthouse office in Victoria Island, Lagos, CEO, billionaire. The youngest managing director Lions Corporation had ever known. Wearing sharp suits that cost more than some people's rent, living in houses with more rooms than memories, but still carrying one wound that refused to heal. He never found Mama Ruth and Nina. Not for lack of trying. He'd spent millions on private investigators, sent men to search old school registers, traced burnt clinic records in the village. Nothing. It was like they disappeared with the smoke from the fire that destroyed Mama Ruth's buka. Sometimes, when he was alone in his mansion at night, he'd stare at the only thing he had left. An old school photo, one with Nina and himself standing under the mango tree. She had her tongue out. He had his arms folded like a stubborn coconut head. Sometimes, he wept. Not because he missed them, but because he didn't know how they were living now. Were they okay? Were they safe? Did they still remember him? He had everything, but without them, it all felt like nothing. Jason was just 10 when his father, the powerful CEO of Lions Corporation, died suddenly of a heart attack in the middle of a business dinner. His grandmother, Grandma Grace, collapsed and slipped into a coma out of shock. And while the house mourned, evil entered through the back door. Jason's stepmother, the same woman who used to pat his head and say, "You are my son too," started moving strangely. She smiled too much, made too many late-night calls. She even dismissed Jason's personal driver and replaced all the old staff. One night, Jason was given warm milk by the new cook. He drank it, snuggled into his big, soft bed, and the next morning, he woke up in a strange village with no shoes, no bag, and no idea how he got there. They had dumped him like a bag of onions. For weeks, he begged, slept under trees, ate from bins. And the villagers, they didn't see a child, they saw a curse. Until one afternoon, a woman selling jollof by the motor park gave him a takeaway plate. That was Mama Ruth, and the little girl tugging her wrapper, calling him sick rat at first, but later sharing her biscuits. Nina. They changed his life. While Jason was building skyscrapers in Lagos, Nina was hustling in Abuja. Life hadn't been kind, but it hadn't crushed her either. She carried herself like Mama Ruth taught her, with dignity and sharp mouth. After their auntie took them in, Nina managed to finish secondary school, then university, all while doing odd jobs: fuel attendant, hotel cleaning, ushering at events to pay school fees, and help take care of her sick mama who now used a wheelchair. A friend told her about a secretary role at a big firm. She applied, but when she got there, the receptionist didn't even let her finish. "Sorry, dear, secretary position is gone." Nina's heart dropped. "But," the lady added, "cleaner day available." Nina smiled weakly. "A beg, where broom day?" She started immediately. They assigned her to clean the 12th floor where only directors, board members, and billionaires breathed air. Her supervisor warned her, "Keep your eyes down. Don't look these rich people in the face. Mind your level." She obeyed. She became a shadow with a mop, a ghost in uniform, quiet, focused, invisible, until one day, she was called to clean the boardroom during a high-level meeting. As she cleaned quietly, a director knocked over his hot coffee. It spilled everywhere. She rushed forward with tissue and mop, head bowed, wiping like her life depended on it. Then she heard it. Nina. She ignored it. Too many people bore that name. Again. Nina? Still, she wiped. Then, Coconut Head? Her hand froze. Her spine stiffened. She slowly looked up, and there he was. A man in a navy blue suit, rich watch, glossy shoes, standing at the head of the table like a prince, staring directly at her. "Is it you?" he whispered. "Don't you remember me?" She blinked. Her heart exploded in her chest. No, it couldn't be. "Jason," she croaked. The entire boardroom froze. "Wait, she knows the CEO? Cleaner, which kind cleaner is that?" Jason didn't wait for protocol. He left the meeting mid-sentence and marched to her. It's you. It's really you. Where's Mama Ruth? Take me to her, please. She was too shocked to speak. That evening, Jason held her hand all the way out of the office. Like he was afraid she'd disappear again. Staff watched, mouths open. Was she a secret daughter? A hidden girlfriend? Who was this cleaner the boss was holding like glass? They drove in silence. When they reached the small apartment, Jason stepped out like he was walking on holy ground. Nina opened the door slowly. Inside, Mama Ruth sat on her wheelchair, half asleep, her wrapper tied loosely, her radio playing softly. Jason stepped closer. His voice cracked. Mama. She didn't look up. Mama Ruth. It's me, Jason. Still nothing. So he knelt before her, took her hand gently. Then he whispered, You said even if I was an Ogbanje, you would beat the marine spirit out of me with Dettel. Her eyes widened. Slowly, her hand reached out. Jason, she said, voice trembling. My son, is it really you? He nodded. They both burst into tears. Nina wept too, standing behind him. They hugged, cried, laughed. The little boy she found in the rain was now the man with the suit and the convoy. Jason told them everything. The milk, the evil stepmom, his grandma's coma, the search, the SUV, the school abroad, the return, the burnt buka, the empty house, and how he had been searching ever since. They all wept again. That night, Mama Ruth didn't sleep. She just stared at him while he ate her leftover okra soup. Jason, now billionaire, CEO, boss of thousands, still ate with his hand, still liked his rice soft, still laughed with his shoulders. He was home. From the moment Jason found Nina and Mama Ruth, he refused to let them suffer again. He moved them into a beautiful apartment in one of Abuja's finest estates, hired a private nurse for Mama Ruth, bought a brand new official car for Nina, and gave her a top managerial position in his company's Abuja branch. Every week, Jason flew down from Lagos just to spend time with them. If he wasn't in their living room, laughing with Mama Ruth and drinking pap, he was sitting on the balcony with Nina, talking for hours about life, work, and memories. Whenever he stayed over, he and Nina went to the office together like husband and wife. It became a routine, and soon the staff began to notice. Whispers started to fly in the office. Isn't that the same girl that used to mop boardrooms? She bewitched him? Oh, from cleaner to manager, just like that? I heard she used juju. Some were jealous, some were shocked, but the bold ones simply called it what they thought it was seduction. News spread quickly, and soon it reached the ears of Jason's fiancée, a rich, proud woman with a sharp tongue and an even sharper temper. The moment she heard the rumor, she didn't wait to confirm it. She marched into the office one hot Tuesday morning like a hurricane in heels. Everyone could hear her shoes hitting the tiles like gunshots. She barged into Nina's office and pointed at her. So this is the cleaner everyone's talking about? You think you can steal my man? I will finish you. Nina, shocked and embarrassed, stood frozen. Before she could say a word, Jason entered. Rita, he barked. What the hell are you doing here? She wants to replace me, Rita snapped, her eyes blazing. Is this why you've been acting cold? Because of this cleaner turned manager? Get out, Jason said, his voice dangerously calm. Don't you ever talk to her like that again. But Rita wasn't done. A few days later, she hired private investigators who traced Nina and Mama Ruth to their new home. She showed up there unannounced, her car parked boldly at the gate like she owned the place. She stormed inside, shouting insults, calling Mama Ruth a witch and Nina a gold digger. In a moment of pure cruelty, she picked up a bottle of water from her car, walked up to Mama Ruth, who was sitting in her wheelchair, and poured it all over her. Shameless old woman, dragging rich men with your daughter. Rubbish. The neighbors rushed out. Some tried to stop her. But before anyone could react, she had driven off like the storm she was. When Jason heard what happened, he went completely silent. For hours. Then, quietly, he picked up his phone and called Rita. You insulted the woman who saved my life, he said. We are done. But Jason, he didn't let her finish. He hung up. She begged. She sent long texts. She cried on social media. She even tried threatening Nina. But Jason made sure she had no way to reach them. He assigned security guards to watch over their house 24/7. No one got in or out without his permission. As the months rolled by, Jason began to spend more time in Abuja than in Lagos. Officially, it was company matters. But the truth was simple: he wanted to be close to Nina. He took them out every weekend. They watched movies, ate ice cream, went to museums. He bought Mama Ruth soft shawls to wrap her legs whenever she sat on the balcony. And for Nina, gave her back the joy of laughter. But something strange started to happen. Jason began to feel something he couldn't name. Every time Nina laughed, his heart did something funny. Every time she rolled her eyes or scolded him, he found himself smiling like a fool. He tried to shake it off. She's like my sister. This is wrong. But Nina wasn't a child anymore. She had grown into a beautiful, sharp-tongued, intelligent woman. And Nina, too, had started to feel something. At first, she ignored it. Then, one day, she confessed to her friend, the same friend who got her the cleaner job. "I think I like Jason." Her friend screamed, "Girl, are you just realizing that now?" "But he's like my brother." "Is he your blood brother?" "No. He's fine, he's kind, and he's into you. If you don't say anything soon, I will collect him myself." They both laughed, but Nina remained confused. She couldn't bring herself to say anything. Meanwhile, Jason had started avoiding long eye contact. He couldn't sit too close to her anymore without feeling awkward. Something had changed, and both of them knew it. But neither was brave enough to say it. Not yet. After months of walking on eggshells, stealing glances, and pretending not to notice the way their hearts skipped when their hands brushed, Jason couldn't take it anymore. He invited Nina out to dinner. Just the two of them. It wasn't one of those big, flashy, CEO-style dinners with 5 forks and 12 wine glasses. No. It was simple, quiet, and personal. Her favorite jollof, grilled fish, soft music, and Jason looking like peace in human form. Midway through the meal, he reached across the table and held her hand. She looked up, heart racing. He took a deep breath. "I know this sounds crazy, but I love you," he said. "I've tried to push it down. I've tried to fight it. But every time I look at you, I just know you're it. You're home." Nina stared at him, shocked. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. Then she exhaled. "It doesn't sound crazy, because I feel the same." Jason blinked. "You do?" She nodded, smiling. "I thought I was the mad one." That night, their love story truly began. They kept it quiet at first. Late night calls, movie dates with face caps, side glances in the office. But Mama Ruth wasn't fooled. Her eyes were sharper than ever. Then, one sunny Saturday afternoon, Jason and Nina knelt before her wheelchair in the living room. Jason cleared his throat nervously. "Mama, there's something we need to tell you." She looked at them with a straight face. "You people want to confess that you've been in love since January?" They froze. She laughed loudly. "I've been watching you two play hide and seek under my nose. Don't insult my intelligence, oh. I've been in this game since 1989. I know love when I see it." They all laughed. Then Jason took her hands. "We want your blessing." Mama Ruth beamed. "You have it, my children. You've always had it." A few weeks later, Jason flew Nina to Lagos to meet the Queen, herself his grandmother. The moment Grandma Grace saw Nina, she stood up from her gold-plated chair, looked her up and down, and nodded. "Now this is the kind of wife I've been praying for," she announced. "Not that long-necked Agama lizard you were dating before." Nina tried not to laugh, but Mama Grace wasn't done. "This one has home training. She has light in her eyes. Her spirit is clean. You got it right this time, my son." Jason smiled and squeezed Nina's hand. "I know." The wedding planning began immediately. On the wedding day, everything was perfect. White orchids, gold decor, a soft band singing soul music. Guests from all over the world flew in. And in the front row, wearing gold lace, with her Jill sitting like royalty, was Mama Ruth. She held her walking stick gently, but her eyes sparkled with pride. As Nina walked down the aisle, radiant in her gown, Jason stood waiting, his eyes already watery. The same boy they once called Ogbanje. The same boy they said was cursed. Now standing tall and successful, waiting to marry the daughter of the only woman who believed in him when everyone else saw a demon. Mama Ruth whispered to herself as the ceremony began. "I didn't listen to them. I didn't let their wickedness turn me cold. and see where love has brought us." She smiled as they exchanged vows. And as the guests clapped and cheered, she wiped a tear from her eye. It was not just a wedding. It was the final chapter in a story that began in pain but ended in glory. A story of faith, love, and one takeaway plate that changed everything. Thank you for watching. What do you think of this story? Let me know of your thoughts in the comment section below. Until I bring another intriguing story your way again, bye for now.